limit orders. I don't know if you saw, Micah, we had actually a rash of questions about limit orders and some confusions that people had. So I just want to touch on that a little bit. Like, for example, using limit orders to exit your position and then finding that it didn't get filled and you're still inside of the position. That's a common one that we see. But also the idea here of extended hours, that any orders that are sent during extended hours by necessity will be limit orders, since we can't do market orders there. And that showed up as a problem for a couple of people, where they were used to sending market orders and all of a sudden now they have a limit one. Have you seen this sort of thing, or am I seeing this more often over the last week or so?
I'm not sure about the frequency, but yeah, I mean, this is a common issue in terms of understanding the different types of orders and the consequences of order choice. And as always, when it comes to order types, there's a trade-off somewhere. You can always choose market orders during the market session, but you're subjected to potentially more slippage as a result. And if you choose a limit order, there's this potential that you don't get filled on your position or exiting your position the way you expect, or maybe you get a partial fill. So there's all kinds of different circumstances to think about when it comes to the choice you make for your position order type. With the extended session, though, I'm not sure if this was like an expectation that we would be able to fill market orders during extended hours, but unfortunately, that's more of a broker limitation. They require that the orders are submitted as limit order during the extended session because that's a low liquidity moment. There's not a lot of market participants the moment the market closes, and you would be subjected to really potentially very bad slippage if you were executing market orders during that period anyway.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering if it was actually the broker limitation, because I'm so used to crypto where I never have to worry about market hours or anything like that.
24/7. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's weird.
And we do have a feature, and people do use this feature, where you can send market orders when the market is open. And then if you send a signal when the market's closed, it automatically switches to limit extended hours orders. And like Mike said, there's always that trade-off. If you do limit orders, you're never guaranteed to get filled. So you might miss entries, you might miss exits. So you always need to be watching to take manual action whenever something doesn't get filled.
Yep.
I also saw a ticket where there was an issue. Where they did a limit order. I think it was good till canceled, and then they sort of like forgot the limit order was there, and then it got filled way down the line. And they were saying, "Oh, there was no alert on my chart that would have in my strategy that would have caused me to enter a trade." And we sort of had to tell them, "Hey, no, well, you had a limit order that was sitting there. The price retraced and then filled at that price, so that can happen as well."
Yeah, normally if you have a limit order that's open that was like from an entry, and then that entry doesn't fill, if your strategy then sends an exit signal for that position that the strategy thinks you're in, but you're not, then TradersPost will see that there's that open order and it'll cancel that order. So I don't know if that customer didn't have exits. Maybe it was a limit order entry with a take profit and stop loss attached, and there was no exit signal that came from the strategy that would have canceled it. But in any case, you need to have like an end of the day routine where you're kind of checking the state of your account, looking at all the trades that were executed, and that's where you would hopefully catch that, and see that you have those open orders that need to be canceled.
Well, I assume they might have had this issue with, let's say they were doing Pine Script on TradingView, because I've seen that before, where you're creating the limit order within the script and then it's still lingering. So if you didn't cancel the order, it needs to be specifically canceled, or the limit order will still exist, and then you can have an alert that's sent there as well.
Oh, I see. So the limit order was open in TradingView.
Well, that could happen. So it could happen that the limit order is lingering in TradingView.
Yeah.
It doesn't clean up automatically.
Right. Yeah. So if they didn't cancel that order in TradingView, then the price retraces. It hits that limit order price. It fills and then sends the alert to TradersPost.
Correct.
Yeah. And I guess as another potential scenario to think about on the subject of making sure that everything's operating the way that you expect, it's worth pointing out that the TradingView simulator is just that. It's just a simulator. So there are times in which your real broker orders may not match exactly what shows up in TradingView. For example, TradingView simulator might show that your limit order was filled when in reality it wasn't filled at all on your side. And so those are the types of like small nuances that we ask people to keep track of, because when you're standing up a strategy in TradingView, it's still pretending to trade the market. It's not doing anything real. So there's always that chance that it doesn't match reality.
And it's probably better also to have like kind of two versions of your strategy, one for back testing and one for live trading with alerts.
Right.
Because I don't think you like, if you're using limit orders, you don't want to set the limit order in TradingView and then wait for that limit order to fill in TradingView. You want to send the alert to TradersPost right when the limit order is entered in TradingView, not when it's filled in TradingView, because it's doesn't make sense. It's like you're waiting for it to fill in TradingView, and then you're sending a limit order with a limit price that's already been filled. So presumably that price is not going to fill because it's that price was filled in the past.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I think when it comes to limit orders in general in TradingView, I try to set them in advance and wait for the simulator to fill them. But that means that in TradersPost, that limit order is actually sitting there open to be filled. That said, I've had so many headaches with limit orders that I tend to just trade market orders anyway. My size isn't enormous. I don't have a crazy amount of slippage, but enough to where it needs to be accounted for. So I do calculate my actual slippage in TradersPost and try to add that to the simulator to confirm that the strategy is still valid. I think that's another like nuance that people tend to overlook, is actually using a more accurate slippage estimate. Sometimes my strategies could have as much as 8 or 10 ticks of slippage on market orders.
Oh, really?
And if you add 8 ticks to a strategy, sometimes that performance disappears. And that's important to look at.
I think another option too is if you do use limit orders in TradingView, when the limit order fills in TradingView, the alert that you send to TradersPost needs to be a market order. So it kind of more behaves like a stop market order,
Right.
where TradingView is the stop. And then as soon as that stop price is triggered, it sends the alert to TradersPost to enter in at market price.
So that's what I do. I do limit orders on TradingView and then market orders when I send the trade.
Yep, that makes sense.